Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's Mike Newton down here at Penrith Golf Hub. Exciting review time for you today, and it's the new range of the Mizuno JPX921 Irons. So we're seeing an introduction of the Tour, the Forged, the Hot Metal, and also the Hot Metal Pro. So all those review videos will come in your way. This particular video, I'm going to concentrate on the 921 Forged, which for me, I think will be the biggest seller, the more popular iron out of the new range. So it's forged. We've got some exciting new technology. Well, it's technology we've seen before in chromoly, but we only saw that in the hot metal irons. We're now introducing that into a forged material in the 921 forged head. So let's get into the video. We'll review it. We've got TrackMan on the floor as always, so we'll give you some data on its performance and also my personal feedback on the looks and the feel of this particular iron. So just before we jump into the video, if you're enjoying the content I'm putting out there and you want to see more club reviews and club comparisons, then make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And if you have and you haven't rung the bell, just give that little bell a ring, and then as soon as a video gets posted on my channel, you'll get a notification and you'll be one of the very first ones to watch it. Okay, so new JPX lineup from Mizuno, and they never disappoint. This looks a stunning iron. So JPX921 is the range now, and this is the Forged. So beautiful first impressions there of that sort of satin finish there. Beautiful looking golf club, as it always is with Mizuno. The finish of them is beautiful. It looks classy. We've got quite a bit of technology packed in this particular iron as well. So we're going to get underway. We're going to hit some shots here, give you some impressions of my feelings around this sort of iron. And I think just first of all, first impressions there, putting that down by the golf ball, it's a great looking head. It's a beautiful sort of shape. We've got that little bit of offset there, medium sort of top line, and quite a long blade length from that heel to toe. So maybe, as I said earlier, this, I think this will tick a box for many golfers here. I think a lot of golfers want that forged head. They want that sort of forged feel. They aspire to have that sort of more of a player's looking golf club, but at the same time they sort of want that forgiveness and they want that speed and that sort of distance off the golf club. And this is really what Mizuno is saying, is everything that the 921 Forged Iron is sort of bringing to the party in a way. So this is a 7 iron I've got, which is 31 degrees of loft, so it is a little bit on the strong side, and I think the previous forged head was 32, so they've strengthened a little bit. I think, you know, they've sort of got to in a way, haven't they? You know, a lot of the other brands are strengthening off. It's I think they've got to sort of stay up with them in a way, but 31 degrees, it's not mega strong, but it's strong enough. Okay, that's a good solid sort of strike. A little bit up the left hand side to start off with there, but again, that first thing you always know when you hit with the Mizuno iron is that solid feel, that beautiful sort of feel, that beautiful noise, that acoustics. Okay, so just went up a little bit left hand side, so that pulled that spin quite low there. Also just got a little bit more yardage out of that particular shot. Okay, that was a better one, a little bit skinny, a little bit of a fadey one there, trying to protect that left shot there. But ball speed 127 there, launching at 17, carry 183, spin 5,500. So probably an area where I probably would imagine this sort of spin number would sit at this 31 degrees of loft. I think probably the thing with these types of irons, and definitely what I saw there, is the height there, 110 feet on its peak of its height, and that's coming into land at pretty much just under 50 degrees of descent. So we've got a lot of stopping power, even though the spin isn't way up there, and you wouldn't expect that with 31 degrees of loft, but the descent angle is coming in pretty steep. So we've got the stopping power in that alone. So what I like that Mizuno have done here is to me it looks a bit more of a sleeker look compared to the previous forged head. We've got like a little beveled on that top edge there, so it doesn't appear to be too sort of thick on that particular sort of top line look in a way. But having said that, we have got still quite a lot of technology packed in this club to make it more or to make it nice and forgiving. So we've got a larger back section here that's sort of cut out, so that's again helping with that MOI and that sort of more help on those missed hits, basically keeping that ball speed up across the club face. So now delivering this 4120 chromoly into a forged head. They've never done that before. They've sold the chromoly into the hot metal, now put it into a forged head. So basically that material allows them to make the club face 0.5 millimeter thinner, so it's increasing ball speed again across that club face. So it's making it as fast as they've ever had a forged iron before. Okay, that's a little bit of a test. That was a bit of a toe strike there, but seems to fly very nice. It'll be interesting to see how that numbers coming out. So again, the ball speed they see just short of 120 hasn't changed at all. Spin has just dropped a little bit, so that's got out 189. Wasn't a good strike, that, to be honest. That's a really high ball flight. Definitely going to get some stopping power just through that land angle alone there. 128 on that ball speed. It's good ball speed. It's up there. It's pretty quick. 192. Just that spin, just a couple of low spin numbers in. I did catch that a touch matte first, to be honest, so we always know that's going to pull a little bit of spin off. But again, land angle at 50 degrees, that's stopping all day long. Again, that's not pure. I'm getting picky on here. I'm getting some good feedback, and that's the beauty I like with these forged irons. You're getting that feedback through the strike there on the club face. Even though it's a very sort of forgiving golf club, you're still getting the feedback of where you're hitting it on that club face. So a little bit less offset than the previous model in these new 921s, which I do like, to be honest. It's that I do much prefer slight less offset there, so only a small amount there, which is good. Again, lovely shape. It does give you that confidence putting it down by the ball. That long from heel to toe blade length does give you that confidence. Again, it's a great feel off that club face. Really, really good feel. Ball speed seems to be very, very consistent there. Just those slight imperfections of strike. It's not changing that ball speed there. And to be fair, they're not the best batch of strikes I've hit. So I'm really testing the forgiveness of the golf club. And then I say that ball speed isn't really fluctuating much as I move my strike around the club face. Obviously, my spin is adjusting a little bit, which is where the dispersion from front to back just a little bit off. You see the slight right miss to the slight long left miss, obviously, was what gives me that difference there. But again, that's more me than the actual club itself. So I think for me, you know, the type of golf will be going into this type of club will probably be that sort of mid-handicapper, all the way down to sort of low figure guys. It really depends on your club delivery, spin, and how you sort of flight that golf club, really. And obviously there's a great option of comboing these, maybe these and the longer irons, potentially going into the tour irons. Obviously they just got to have a look at the lofts as you interchange, as you transfer from the forged to the tour iron, because the tour iron is a different loft, isn't it? Availability of these are 4-iron through to gap wedge in right hand. For you left-hand golfers, Mizuno, if they did last year, they've brought out the SEL option, which you get a 4 and a 5 iron in the tour, and then you go into in the forged, 4 and a 5 iron in the forged, and then you go into the tour from the 6 iron through into the short irons as a bit of a combo set for you left-handers. That's a lovely one to finish on. Very, very neutral. Beautiful high ball flight. Looks to be pretty strong. Again, 128 ball speed, just over 5,000 on that spin. Okay, right, JPX921. It looks beautiful. It looks stunning. Ball speed looks to be really, really healthy. Let's go and check those numbers out in a little bit more detail. Okay, so number time here. So as you can probably see there, it's not my most tightest dispersion ring ever, but you know, I've just got that little pulls, which tends to be a bad shot. And then obviously just the ones where I've caught them a little bit skinny, they just peel off a touch low and slightly to the right hand side there. So obviously front to back dispersion, left to right a little bit bigger than normal. But I think when we look at the sort of numbers, so we can see there the club head speed just around that sort of 90 mile an hour mark, which is typical for me. Ball speed 127, but look how tight that ball speed, and as I mentioned, that wasn't my best ball striking day there. I have hit some central, I have hit some a little bit sort of toe and a little bit low in the club face there, and look how consistent that ball speed is. So possibly, you know, that chromoly into this forged iron, it's creating that speed across that club face, that wider back section possibly is doing a job there. So quite impressed with that, even though I've not given my best strikes, my ball speed hasn't plummeted there. Launch angle there at 17 degrees, spin at 5,000, so a little bit low, and probably see as the spin is changing a bit more than what I probably like to see. But again, I did vary my strike a little bit on that particular test, so dropping off at 4-1 on those slight ones where I catch them a touch heavy, a little bit in that toe side, pulls a bit of spin off up to 5-7. When I catch them a little bit low in the face, it just pops a little bit of spin on there, but averaging it around that sort of 5,000 mark. Having said that, I'm looking at my land angle here, this end column, you can see 48.7 degrees on average as the ball comes into land is pretty healthy. So that's always going to get some stopping power. The ball's flying pretty high there at 108. I can obviously move my heighten the ball flight down through my setup change as and when I need to in that gaming situation. So carry distance there, averaging at 186.9. Okay everybody, so there we go, there's a new JPX921 Forged Iron. Beautiful looking golf club there. I love the sort of little bit of that chrome and that satin sort of finish. Beautiful shaping behind that golf ball as you're framing it. Quite a confident sparring blade length there, so you know, if you're not too keen that compact head, this is definitely a good option. Fantastic feel. Ball flight's really good. Ball speed I'm quite impressed with. As I say, I've moved my strike a little bit around in that particular test. Wasn't my best ball striking day, but the ball speed is very, very consistent. So possibly that technology in there is doing its job. So post comments down below. Let me know on your thoughts of the Forged Iron of the JPX921. Is that something that is on your radar to go out and try? Would you upgrade from the previous forged model into the new one? I'd love to hear your thoughts as always, so post them in the comments down below. More videos coming of the new JPX921 range. We've got the Tour, we've got the hot metal irons to look at as well, so do stay tuned. If they're not on the channel already, then they will be coming very soon, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.